Hello, I'm FPL MV and welcome back to another FPL preseason video. Premium drafts were very popular last season, but this year the premium player prices are very high, and putting Harry Kane, Mohamed Salah and Erling Haaland in your squad all together is very difficult, but I managed to do it. I fit them in without making too many compromises. I have the most important players in my opinion in the drafts, so I'm here to share that draft with you, and you can take inspiration and build something like that if you want to. I will be doing more funny challenges like that before the season starts. If you have any ideas that I can build my draft around for, do it and put them in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel if you're new around here and want to see those challenges coming from me. But now guys, let's head into the draft and see how I managed to fit the 3 premium players. As you can see, I've used all of my budget. I'm going in a 4-4-2 formation because in my opinion it's very hard to play any other players rather than a strong defensive core and have all the premiums up front, because if you want to go for a feasible option around 5.5 it will cost you too much, and 4.5 defender seems to be the way to build a draft. First in goal I've opted for Pickford, a 4.5 playing goalkeeper. That's a pretty important thing to begin with. I believe having a strong goalkeeper department is pretty important because you won't be rotating him a lot and you won't be replacing him by anyone else because you don't have the money and you don't have from anywhere to get it, because that's one of the biggest difficulties building that team, is that you pick a specific player at that price and you cannot change it even higher because you have to sacrifice a premium, because those are the least prices that you can spend on in money to spend on guys. But 4.5 for a goalkeeper is a very reasonable and good price. So without any hesitation, I'm picking Pickford and I'm moving swiftly into defense. Going into defense, you can see that I've not made a lot of sacrifices here. I have the most important player is Threemiun for 5.0. He is staying in the team for sure. He was the first defender in my draft after I picked the 3 premium players. Nathan Ake is here to cover up the Manchester City defense. If you don't feel like Ake is good enough, you can replace him with an Arsenal defender. This is what this draft is lacking, an Arsenal defender. Another thing that is not having is Trent, but you cannot have Trent with the other 3 premiums. It's just absurd. You lose so many money. You need to find 3 million from somewhere, and finding 3 million with so little to spend is going to hurt your draft a lot. But you can always replace Nathan Ake with an Arsenal defender that are being 5.0. Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko are all good shoutouts to fit in that position. Henry 4.5, solid defender from Brentford. Brentford do not seem to have any caring if they're playing a top 6 side or not. They can keep a clean sheet when they have a day, and Henry can get a little bit of attacking return as well. So picking Henry for your squad is not too risky. He is a popular pick right now, so going for Henry you won't lose points, but you have to play him week in and week out. Then Cowell is just a placeholder for a Chelsea defender, a center back basically. You cannot go to Chilwell and James with that money to spend, so a 4.5 central defender, because at least one of them, those 4.5 defenders will be playing, is a good decision. And picking Cowell as a placeholder looks alright. And Bell for 4.0, a very solid first option on the bench, because you won't have very good bench option because you cannot use a lot of money there. Basically the first 4 defenders will play every game, so consider them as nailed players, and you cannot rotate them because you won't have someone to put in your squad. But the midfield is pretty impressive despite wasting a lot of money on the forward line. So let's see the midfielders right now. In midfield, as you can see, I'm going for 4 players. I picked a 4.5 midfielder. That doesn't matter. It's going to be the best option here, but the others are pretty good as well. Salah nailed for the Threemiun draft. He is a must. Saka, kept him in the draft, 8.5. I cannot seem to find a draft to go without Saka. I think he's the nailest player in my side apart from Haaland in my real draft. So Saka 8.5, I had to have him in my team. But as you can see, I'm using mid-to-mind Enciso. Enciso is not nailed, so I may replace him with Andreas Pereira or someone else for 5.5. I've made a very good video on 5.5 midfielders. You can check it in my channel. But Right now I'm focusing on the price point. Basically it's 5.5 or 5 million. If I use 5 million I can improve somewhere else, but I don't seem to be improving anyone else, so I will be using the most money possible. Mitoma, he's nailed for me. 6.5, pretty good price for a pretty good fixture run at the start. Two fixtures that are not to be missed, so Mitoma is staying in the team, and Enciso is just a placeholder as I said, but he is the best option right now in my opinion. You can just go for a 4-3-3 draft and pick another striker for 5.5 if you find them better, but in my opinion the midfielders are the better pick at the 5.5. It's your decision here, but you can see that I'm using for pretty okay-ish player here. The only issue is that I'm building 4-4-2. I don't like to have 4 defenders game week and game out, because I will, if one goal is scored, they're losing a lot of their value, but you cannot make a little less compromise with that draft because you're having a lot of premiums. And now let's see the forward line. It's not going to surprise a lot, but let's see it and discuss the issues of the team. Finally, we are seeing the two strikers, Haaland and Kane. I have to start with both of them, and the forward is a 4.5 placeholder. Again, we have 4 placeholders basically. But for 4.5 you can find a pretty okay striker if someone emerges and put him as a bench option, because you won't be benching anyone. The only issues here, if someone is getting injured, what are you going to do at that game week? Nothing, you're just going to lose that person's points. But the issue, and the main issue, is different. Here, if you want to make a transfer, you're not going to sell your premiums, you're not going to sell Saka and Stupian, and you just don't and won't have the money because you cannot find them from anyone else. Mitoma, Henry, Cowell, and Ciso may handle and provide some value, but it's not enough. So if you want to go to Foden, you have to sell one of the premiums basically. That's the downside, but the upside is that you cannot get any higher with the prices, because those are the most expensive players at the game, and if you sell one of them, the other opportunities to buy a player for Salah is Rashford's at top price, that's 3.5 million, and for Kane is 4.5 million to the next the next expensive player. So that's a good thing. You can sell one of the premiums if it doesn't work, but the premium draft doesn't look too shabby. If you want to have Trent here with those players, you don't have to have Saka, and for me this is a big loss. So I'm trying to lose points from Trent, not from Saka, because Saka can be with a very high return value. I think this draft is good. As I already mentioned, if you want to have any other challenges for me to build drafts around, please specify them down in the comment section. I will try to think of any other challenges myself and provide them to you. But for now, guys, I think to wrap up the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I hope to see you on my comment section with some ideas. But for now, guys, I'll be heading out. Bye!